my name is Edith Kohlbach. I'm from Germany. I think most people don't know me, Richard know me. So I'm here a snowbird. I'm 6 months in winter, so between 5 and 6 months I'm here, and then I go back to Germany. So I'm no illegal. Yeah, and when I started to do bicycling here, I was looking for information. I wanted to have a book because I have to know where is the trail. It's not always in front of my door. And so I looked around, and the books I saw didn't satisfy me. I wanted detailed and up-to-date information, and so I decided I can do this better. And that's why I started to print books about the bike trails. And I love the bike trails here in Florida. They are so perfect. We can do bicycling in Germany, yes, of course, but we don't have such wonderful trails. And what is special here, not only on the trails, but in America, what we Germans really appreciate is you find restrooms everywhere. And they are clean and they are free. In Germany you have to pay. So, yeah. So then we have these wonderful trails here, like out of the door we have spring to spring trail, it's wonderful. But then people are talking about the coast to coast. So there is no trail coast to coast. This is a selection of trails. So you would use trails, I will see, yeah. So here I mentioned it. So you would use existing trails, and some people, I don't know who it was, years ago decided the coast to coast is from St. Petersburg to Merritt Island. You see this green line, this is always a real bike trail, but the red sections, these are the gaps. And the gaps are not so easy to do, but we will talk about it. So also in my book, it's in detail explained. The total distance is 240 miles. So people who want to do it all together, they would need 4 to 5 days. And many of them do camping on the way or stay in a hotel. So I met this guy. I did not meet him on the coast to coast. I met him on Lake Okeechobee. But he is such a typical bike rider who is doing such a long trip. So you see, his bike is equipped with everything what he needs. He told me he don't even use a tent. He has a hammock. He just needs 2 trees. And coast to coast is too small for him. He lives in Canada, and he rode all the way from Canada to the Keys. And I met him on the way back. I did not ask him how long he was riding, but I think it's long, because I asked him about his job. I thought maybe he is a student. He says, no, he is a tree planter. Did you ever hear about this profession?
Wow, Johnny.
He's from Canada, born in Mexico, but he lives in Canada. And there is this big logging industry, so they cut all the trees, and of course they have to be planted again. So that's done in summer. And he said he is planting each day around 2,500 little trees
each day.
And so this is well paid. And then he can spend the winter traveling. Yeah, but we want to talk about the coast to coast. So here we have the detailed map. Some people years ago said the start of the coast is Playa Linda Beach on Merritt Island, and the end is St. Petersburg. So this gives us a problem, because in Merritt Island, first Playa Linda Beach, you say no?
You can't ride that road. It's
Yeah,
they
that's
won't-
what I
there's
say
no
now.
shoulder, there's no nothing. They don't want bicycles there.
Exactly. This gives us many problems. So first, this is Playa Linda Beach is a state park. So to go in, you need to pass. It's $15 for bicyclists, for valid 7 days, but you would not need 7 days. Also, there is no accommodation. So you have, if you are out of the area and you come with your car and bike on the deck, you would have to stay in Titusville, sleep in Titusville. If you do it, I would recommend arriving in the afternoon, check in the hotel, take your bicycle, go to Playa Linda Beach, and do this 10 miles, and you have done it already. But, as you said, here we have this again. Oh, sorry. I always push the wrong button.
Is Playa Linda still?
I'm so happy that you are still there, because I always have to.
That's okay, I'll fix it. I think someone, if you'll answer, I think someone has a question.
Is Playa Linda still a nude beach?
Yes. And I thought, I'm from Germany, so I laugh about it.
Well, I got a $50 ticket.
I saw warning signs. You might encounter nude people. So you need a warning sign, because it's so dangerous.
It just takes a second.
Yeah, I'm angry about myself.
Oh,
I
it
always
happens.
push the wrong button.
That's okay, it happens. Does anyone else have a question while we wait?
I do have a question. So have you ridden the road from Titusville, you go over the bridge, to Playa Linda Beach? Because my understanding is that road, well, I've tried to ride it, there's no shoulder, speed limit's 55 miles an hour, and I thought I saw signs that said no bicycles allowed.
Yeah, during rush hour, we will talk about it.
Okay.
As soon as I
Okay. So you say be not during rush hour, so during the morning or the early afternoon.
You will see.
Dangerous.
Yeah, back.
Hold on.
But only full screen. Yeah, okay. Now, and Playa Linda Beach. So now we are on, when you come from Titusville, in downtown Titusville there is a bike lane. Some people complain there is nothing, it is there, it's not so comfortable, but it's there. On the bridge to Merritt Island there is a bike lane. After the bridge there is a trail, this trail, but then the trail ends. And last year, in spring last year, I saw construction going on, and I thought, and I talked to people, and they told me, yeah, the trail will extend. No, don't think so. They just paved the parking lot. That's important, because Florida is taking care of cars, but not about bicycles. So that's the end of the trail. Then you have, as you said, you have to use this road, no shoulder, a lot of traffic, 55 miles. And not allowed Monday to Friday from 6 to 9 and from 3 to 6. And I used it. I did a big round trip, and I think it was 3:15, and I was on this road. I cannot fly, and they made the horn. They were angry about me, the car drivers. So I don't recommend Merritt Island. I recommend you Smyrna Beach, but we will talk about it. First, we start now in Titusville, Merritt Island. When you come from out of the area with your car, you have to park somewhere. You have to leave your car for 4 or 5 days. You can leave it here on this parking. This is the parking of the Welcome Center, downtown Titusville. So when the center is open, You go inside and tell them, I parked my car here for several days. It's no problem, you can do it. They are very friendly to bicyclists. If it's closed, just leave a note behind your windshield. It's no problem to park there. And they even have tools if necessary. So then, this is this lane through Titusville, what is not perfect, but it's there. But the worst part is, when you are coming the other way, you are coming from the spring to spring trail into Titusville. Here at this point, the trail ends, and you are first shocked, what should I do now? So here, this is not perfect. There should be done something. So here, you can either use this narrow sidewalk, or you can use the road, but only until the next corner. And at this next corner, there is a sign for bike trail. Also you are shocked in the first second, but it's not so bad. You can do it. Then we are coming from Titusville, then here finally is the trail secure, and this is called the East Central Regional Rail Trail, ECRRT. This is a very nice trail, and so most times through nature. And 5 miles after Titusville, there is a very interesting stop. This is in Mims, and this is from the Methodist Church, a bike stop. And I really love this place and these people. They are so friendly. They did put all this up with volunteers for the bicyclists. It's only open Saturday mornings. Also open means people are there only Saturday mornings to receive you, to offer you a coffee, donuts, everything. But you can stop there every day. And even if there's nobody, you can stop, have a rest. And you see there is a lawn, you can camp there. And Saturdays they make a picnic, also you can camp there, even if there is nobody there. It's good to send them a reservation before, but even if you don't do it, you can stay there. Sometimes people might come and talk to you, they are very friendly, and they have a parking. This is a parking for bicyclists. And you can also leave your car there for several days if you do the trail. Again, a little note in the windshield if nobody is there. So now we are on the trail again. So this bike stop is next to the trail. Now we are on the trail again. It's a real multi-use trail. I love this sign. So bicycles, pedestrians, horses. And now it's nature. There is nothing. And on this trail also there is not much service right and left. And that's why it is so nice that there is Virgie. So Virgie is an older lady. She lives close to the trail. And already years ago, she made these little benches and tent, and she offers so many things what bicyclists need, even aspirin if they have a headache. And it's on a system. There is a box, and you put in whatever you think. They have cold drinks. This should be much more often. This is so nice. Yeah, and then you come to Maytown Spoor. This is a trailhead. You can see it's with potty. I'm not sure if they, in the meantime, they built a restroom because they wanted to do it, but I'm not sure if they did it already. And Maytown Spoor is a very interesting or important trailhead because, first, yeah, this is something before. They have tools here, but it's also important. And then we talked about the coast to coast, that it is not officially a trail with this name. And there is no signage to show you where the coast to coast runs. But one exception, and that's Volusia County. Volusia County has signs, but no other counties, only Volusia. So here is written coast to coast trail. Here you cannot see it so well, river to sea loop, because this trail is also part of the river to sea loop. So this is interesting. And here is now the map. So you see, we came here from Titusville. Here is Maytown Spur, and this green, it is ECRRT, but this orange is also part of the ECRRT, and this is a branch here, and this goes to Edgewater. So the official end of this trail is here in Edgewater, and here is another trail. So this here is Edgewater, and you can also start the coast to coast in New Smyrna. And I would say this is much better, much better. First here, this would be the beach, also the coast. You can dip your bicycle into the water of the Atlantic. You have all accommodation, there is everything. Here, Fleckler Avenue is only road, but 20 miles per hour. So there is much traffic going to the beach, but you can ride in the middle of the road. And the cars cannot ride fast. Also this is only this short piece. Then here is a real trail, This here is quiet neighborhood road to US 1. And this here is bike lane. Also it's very safe to go there. And when you're out of the area and you need to park your car there, here is the Marine Discovery Center. They built a new trailhead with a huge parking, but this parking is closed. I talked to the guys, and they said, yeah, when it was finished, they opened it, they had a lot of vandalism, so now it's closed, because from the center you cannot really watch it so well. So this huge parking is, but in front of the Marine Discovery Center is a parking, and there you can stay. I talked to the people, you can leave your car for the 4 days. Again, tell them in the office, if not, note in your car at the windshield. So this is possible.
Edith, can I ask a question? How far is it from Edgewater to Flagler Avenue?
I would have to look in my book. It would
About 5.5.
less,
So it's
less
not
than
that
10
long.
miles.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not
Good to
far.
know. Because I've gone to Edgewater and then just kind of stopped there, got to like the causeway, that area, but never just went.
The
to
causeway,
Flagler.
that's it, but there's a trail. On the
Yeah,
causeway
there
is a trail.
Okay, I have to check that out. Thank you.
So I can, also hier ist, warte mal, Stage Alternate 55.
So you come off the bike path.
To Maytown it's 22, but to Maytown you are already.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, where are we? So isn't this a much nicer start? And no new people. So no danger. And here you see, it's a small road, but you can ride in the middle of the road and all people are going slowly, they will take care of you, it's not a problem. This is here the trail along North Coastway. There you have a trail. And this here is the official start in Edgewater of the ECRRT. And this goes now as a trail to Maytown Spur. So this is a trail now to Maytown Spur. This here is not Maytown Spur because we are already far. This is Gobbler's Lodge. Gobbler's Lodge, trailhead. And again you see coast to coast and river to sea loop. These signs are good, but unfortunately they are not everywhere. So this is also an important step because we are here at Green Springs. What you don't see here on this left side is Green Springs, close to here. And this is a transition from the East Central Richmond Trail to the Spring to Spring Trail. But you just continue, it's one trail. Then, yeah, we have the map here. So we came this trail, this was Green Springs, and then you continue on this trail to Lake Monroe, to Gemini Park, Gemini Springs Park. And if you are a camper, you want to do camping along your trail, in Gemini Springs Park you can do camping. It's a wild camping, there is not much, and there are mostly never people, but bicyclists are welcome, can stay there overnight.
There's actually showers at Gemini. There's quite a lot at Gemini. You can shower there.
Yeah.
And you can
yeah.
stay overnight.
Yes, yes. Other people cannot, so it's only for groups, but bicyclists can. So, and then after this Gemini Springs Park, the trail splits. So up to the north, this is the Spring to Spring, but the coast to coast goes here along the Lake Monroe Park, and then starts the Cross Seminole Trail. So we have here the other map. Here is Lake Monroe. Here is this camping sign because of Gemini Springs, and then this is now day 2. So in my description, this was the first day, and now starts the second day with overnight, either camping in Gemini Springs or Sanford has accommodation, has several hotels. It's possible to stay there. So, and then you take the Cross Seminole Trail here, it is written, but you don't stay on this trail. You must pay attention because suddenly Cross Seminole goes this direction. But there is a little transition with a beautiful overpass, and you do the transition to the Seminole Wekiva Trail. There is a sign, but it's easy to overlook it. So you have to go on this other trail. This is now at Lake Monroe, where the Cross Seminole starts. This sign here, 27.7. This is the official end, north end of the Cross Seminole. So you go over the road and continue on the Cross Seminole. The problem with this trail, this beginning of this trail, is there are a lot of intersections, really a lot. Some are so small that there is no light and you have to look and can go. I prefer this. I'm German. I don't like where you have to push a button, because the buttons are made for pedestrians. They are not made for bicyclists. And they are always so far from the bike path. Very often you have to park your bike and you have to go there and push the button. And who does this? Everybody runs just through it, what is dangerous. So I think this is a challenge they would have to change. Good. Yeah, again, intersections. And then I think soon will be the transition to the Wekiva Trail. Here is the sign, so it's here. And then it's difficult to see. If you see this trailhead, this is the Lake Mary overpass to the trailhead. When you see this, you are too far. You have to go back a little bit. But in my book, there are the GPS points. You just put these GPS points in your Google Maps and it will show you the exact position where to go.
There's the large postal distribution center on
Yes,
on Reinhardt,
exactly,
is where you wanna
exactly
turn
there,
to
yes,
get that overpass on I-4.
yes.
Or you end up at Home Goods.
Yeah, and then we are on the Calvert Trail, what is a beautiful trail, and what is special there, had you been there already, or is there somebody who had not been? Then you should go, because what is special there is the art along the trail.
What's the best way to get there from here?
Yeah,
How do I get there from here?
you go to Lake Monroe, as I just explained, you go to Lake Monroe Park, you follow the trail, takes across Seminole, then the transition.
What do you mean by Lake Monroe
It's-
Park?
By the zoo.
Boat launch.
You know, if
By
you're
the
on
zoo?
the trail, yes, so if you're at Lake Monroe Park and you're on the
Lake
trail,
Monroe Park is the zoo?
no, that's just a reference point. You want to continue to leave Sanford along that trail, and then you get up to, oh no, wait, if you're leaving Sanford, you don't get as far as Lake Monroe Park. You would turn, but it's right after where the zoo is. You know where the Sanford Zoo is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that intersection right there that they just redid. They did some paving and put some new lights in and turn signals. So you make up, if you're coming, the zoo's here, you're on the path, the zoo's here on your left, you're gonna make a left at that intersection. You look for that little sign, it's just a little post sign that says Cross Seminole Trail.
Oh,
And then you make a left there, and then it gets hairy because it's on the sidewalks, there's lights, there's lots of intersections. And then, as Edith said, you just follow it, and that'll take you to the Seminole Wekiva Trail.
And it's only
But
a few miles, 5-6 miles.
it's not far, but the traffic, it's not a fun ride. But once you get to Seminole Wekiva Trail, it's worth
It's
it.
fun.
It follows Reinhardt Road most of the way.
Yes.
Once you cross the bridge, you have to go under I-4, turn right on 15, make a bunch of turns to get to Reinhardt, and then you're good.
okay, so
You
now
hit
I'm
the
on
postal
Reinhardt
center.
Road, all right.
Yeah, and you know Reinhardt
I
Road.
know Reinhardt Road.
Yeah.
And I actually bought your book last year or a couple of years ago when you gave this. I guess I have to look at the book, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's about 2 miles or so, you see all this art. In my book, I describe especially who did it, when he did it, and everything. So it's really nice to look at.
There are no rest stops.
I like this here. No matter how slow you go, you are still letting everyone on the couch.
There are no rest stops from the boat launch down there until you get almost down to 436 in Longwood. So be prepared for that. Now, there's a couple of trailheads there, like that Jones Street or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no rest stops in there, no restrooms.
thank you.
Yeah, and I think most of you would know what means this white bicycle. So it's always some bicyclist died. Remember. So, I like this.
Well, Wekiva is so beautiful, and you have to make reservations if you want to go to Wekiva now. Now, I don't know about if you can go in with a bicycle. Do you go into Wekiva with your bicycle, or?
No,
You don't go
no,
to the
no,
park.
this
Okay.
is not inside the park. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the final end of the Wekiva Trail. Most people don't go to this end because a little bit before is the official end of the Wekiva Trail with 0.0, but this is a very fast final end. And then it gets difficult. We have a 6-mile gap. I have here this map. So we are here at this point. This is the end of the trail. When you have to cross the road, but it's a very busy 4-line road. Orange Blossom Trail is the name. So don't cross here, you will die. Go a little bit up, it's not much, and then 0.1 mile. And then there is a pedestrian crossing, but you are not out of the problems because there is a very narrow shoulder along this busy road until here. It's half a mile, not more, half a mile. Then you go here and here and here. Here, this is Pine Hills Road. There is, it's a lot of traffic there, but there is a sidewalk. It's not perfect, but you can use the sidewalk. And then you are here. I have a problem with, there's also a mistake. It should be a K. How do you pronounce this?
Ocoee.
Ocoee. Clarkona Ocoee Road.
Yeah.
It's a mistake. Okay, and here there is a mix of sidewalk, bike lane, trail, and the county right now is planning to close this gap. So I think they will enforce here, they will do a real bike trail here, but I didn't find any information about this difficult part. I don't know what they are doing there. So here, this is this Clarkona Ocoee Road. So here is a trail, here is a bike lane next to it, but that's not always. It changes. Sometimes it's just a narrow sidewalk. And then in Clarkona Road, we have, I go back to the map. Here you have two possibilities. You can arrive at a Popka Vineland Road. You can turn right, and after a short piece, you find a Popka Vineland outpost. This is the trailhead of the West Orange Trail, what we need now. You can enter here if you want, or you go straight, and then here automatically you are on the trail. So this here is the intersection with Clark Road, and here you would come from here, and then you join the trail here. And the West Orange Trail is also one of the most beautiful trails. Again Clark Road, again. And this is the next trailhead, Ingram outpost, but you have another possibility here, because if you are a bicyclist with tent camping, then there is a very nice camping, and this is Clarkona Horse Park. You can camp there. I asked, it's $23 for non-residents. If you are resident or senior, it's even less. So you are among horses. It's a really nice park, and it's 1 mile off our original trail, but this mile is a paved bike trail, so it's very easy to access. Yeah, now we are on our beautiful trail through Winter Garden. Also, I love this part of the trail, and when you go there, I recommend going during Christmas time. It's all decorated during Christmas time, so beautiful. They play Christmas music on the street. I love it. And there are right and left, there are coffee shops, restaurants, there's everything what you need. There is a very nice hotel. Would be, for me, a little bit too expensive. I look for cheaper places, but everybody has different ideas. So this here is, this is Winter Garden Station, yes. I like this. Yeah, there are several trailheads in the area. Also this part for horses. Yeah, and this now is Killarney Station. This is also an important step, because here ends officially the West Orange Trail, and starts the South Lake Trail, but you just continue. And when you are on the South Lake Trail, there are two highlights. One, Florida is flat, has no hills, so the South Lake Trail has some hills. And for me, it's a beach town. We come through Claremont. Claremont for me is a beach town. It's really nice. So here you see it, South Lake Trail. And this is already Claremont. So is it Lake Minnetonka, I think?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's during summertime, it's so beautiful beach. And also this area, Wintergarten, Claremont, Groveland, this is an area where you find accommodation. And in my book, I give some recommendations, some hotels, but there are not many hotels. So when I, for myself, need something, I use most time Airbnb, because these are private rooms, and there are more private rooms close to a trail. But this is nothing I could recommend in a book, because this is not something like a hotel with a name, location, and price, and so you always have to look in Airbnb, but it's not bad, it's good. Yeah, and now, I don't know if you can read it, Silver Eagle Road. Here, Silver Eagle Road, and what is here?
The end of the trail.
The end of the trail and the start of the big adventure. Because we have now a 28-mile gap. And this is something, okay, I would not recommend it. I was just there, but not with a bicycle. I was there with my car and checked it. So you have three possibilities. You can either take this state, this is State Road 50. You can either take this, I will explain how it is, or you can turn left and go through Richloam Greenspan. And the problem here is most time some paved roads, some gravel roads, but one part is sand, and you have to push your bike. Especially if you have a racing bike. Maybe that is even difficult in the sand.
Yeah, I've tried that. I won't ride on sand. It's too much. You just have to push your bike through. Yeah.
The nature is nice, but it's hard.
Yes, it's nature if you're on your feet. Without a bicycle, it's nice.
Yeah. There is another possibility going north. There are roads, but it's not many people do it. I think if people do it, they go south, but it's difficult. Some people even ask for a shuttle, try to find a shuttle to do this. I will explain how it is if you stay on the road. It's current information. So here, the first, it's a short part. This is bike lane, a real lane. We will see a photo soon. Here is no shoulder at all, nothing. And the road, 2 lanes, heavy traffic. Here is a narrow shoulder. Then here, there starts, the road is in construction there, from 2 lanes before, now 4 lanes. It's not terminated, it's not finished yet, but the bike trail is finished, but it's barricaded. And you can circle around the barricade, it would be possible, but only until here. Here is the railroad, so they constructed a new bridge over the railroad for the cars, and I was just there, so the train is finished, it is there. And what did they do? They barricaded it so heavily that here around the bridge you cannot use it. It's impossible, you cannot go around. Here before, yes, you can use it here. And after, it's 2 miles, not more than 2 miles around the bridge, or even less. And after the bridge, there is a trail now. It's open, it's officially open, you can use it. And then you go until here, and here you join the Whistler-Pucci Trail. But I show some photos. So this is now the beginning with a real bike lane. If it were always so, okay, but it's not. That's how it looks later. There is a narrow shoulder, but it's no fun. And especially this photo here. It was 1 year ago, I was traveling with my car. I had one bicycle on the rack, but space for a second one. So I passed him, stopped on parking, and offered him to shuttle him.
Aw,
And he was happy.
very nice. Nice of you.
Yeah, and this is now after Terrytown, this is now the new open trail. This trail goes all the way to the Whistler-Pucci Trail, so from here on, you don't have any gap. So from here on until St. Pete, all trail. This here is, this is a new, I should have put some photos of Brooksville, but I didn't. Brooksville comes later. Okay. This is the trail, and this is the overpass to the Whistler-Pucci Trail. So you turn right, the State Road 50 goes straight, would reach Brooksville soon, but you do a detour, take the Whistler-Pucci Trail to the north, what is also a nice trail. And this here is Rich Manor Trailhead. So just after this overpass is this trailhead, and people who do a shuttle for the gap, they start the trail again here on this trailhead. Then you go on Whistler-Pucci, you go north, and you come to Groom Road, and there starts the Good Neighbor Trail to Brooksville. So this is also very quiet, very peaceful, no more problems now. This is the Good Neighbor Trail. This is now Brooksville, the trailhead. This is an old train depot you can go in and visit. And this here is now the new overpass, because when you leave at the end of the Good Neighbor Trail, you reach State Road 50 again, and you have to go along State Road 50. But there is a new overpass crossing the road, so everything is safe now. And on the other side, this is the overpass. There is some construction still going on, but for the bicycle, everything is open. And on the other side is bike trail again. So where are we now?
Edith, I have a question. When you're in Brooksville at that gazebo in the old railroad museum,
Yeah.
how do you get to that new bridge?
You follow the trail.
We followed the trail, but then we ended up in Brooksville, where the center of town is, right, with the cafes.
There is a Frenchman, yes.
And then where we couldn't find it, so we just turned around and came back.
In my book, I have the GPS points.
Okay.
It's in. I don't have a picture here.
Yeah.
But you follow the main trail, and you are right. There is something going left, but the trail is marked. And so, when did you do it?
Oh, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, so when we we were at that gazebo, we followed it around a little bit. We got to whatever it was, Main Street. We made a right going, and then took us into the little center of town in Brooksville. Is the bridge to the left?
It's down. Also I just follow the trail, and it crosses right, left. It crosses Brooksville. There is a railway bridge.
Oh, maybe we just didn't go far enough.
And then
Okay.
you come to the other bridge.
Okay.
You must miss one branch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is Brooksville. So this is the new trail along State Road 50, safe, not on the road. And here from the north comes the Suncoast Trail. Suncoast Trail is also something special. There is a highway, 589, what is only built several years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I don't remember exactly how much. And along the highway they made a trail, and I think that's so good to have a trail. It's maybe not the most nature, but it's a noisy cars, but it's there, and the people, the local people have something to ride. I found it wonderful. So then you take the Suncoast Trail, it goes down south, but you leave the Suncoast here and go to the Starkey Wilderness Park. And this is a big change. Here, the noisy road, noisy highway, and here, peaceful nature. It's very nice. Okay, I will show the, and then here starts the Pinellas Trail. We will see the pictures. So this is now the highway 50 trailhead of the Suncoast Trail. When you come to this overpass, this is your trail, but you turn left. So if you turn right, this would go to the north. You go here and go left. Then you are on the Suncoast Trail, and soon you will pass this interesting tree. And you hear it already from far, because I was told that years ago somebody put, I don't know how you call it in English, these things you hang and then make a sound.
Chimes. Wind chimes.
Wind chime, yes. So somebody hang in this tree a wind chime to remember a loved family member was deceased, and many other people follow. And so it's nice to pass it, and it's like music. It's good. It's a whimsical tree. Yeah, then we go this is the Suncoast 50 trail, also the Suncoast Trail, not 50. And most time we have the bridges together with the highway. Here not, here we have an intersection, but it's always safe. But you see again a white bicycle. So, and now we leave the highway and go into the Starkey Wilderness Park. This is a new paved trail, wonderful, very, very nice. And at the end, it's only, I have to look 10 or so miles. And then you come to the Starkey Wilderness Park, and there's also camping, so people can also do camping there. Yeah, after Starkey Park, the trail continues. It's then along a road, and then you come to Starkey Market. And this is a very nice stop. I recommend to stop there. And it was, I think, a very old, famous farmer's family here, they have a huge farm, and they opened this, and it's a restaurant, and playground, and shop, and everything. But no camping. I think they should also open a camping. And they serve a cold beer. Sometimes it's good. Then a little bit after Starkey Market, you always follow the trail, you cross a road, and then the trail here is called Starkey Gap Trail. That's the connection between the Starkey Trail and the Pinellas Trail. So, and this here, this is a county line of Pinellas County, and this is the official northern start of the Pinellas Trail. Pinellas. No. Nobody did it? Ah, this is something you have to do. It's so, I love it. But it's personal. So the Pinellas Trail was also an old railway track, and so it goes through the middle of the cities. with a lot of life. That's what I love. I'm European. I love people around. I love restaurants right and left. And so I love this trail. Other people prefer the nature. And fortunately, Florida has both. So this is now the Pinellas Trail. In the beginning, not so exciting. There's even this little preserve you can visit. So, and this is Charpon Springs. So in my description, this is already the end of the third day and start of the fourth day or something. You can read it in the book. Tarpon Springs is a place where I also recommend to stay overnight, somewhere in this area, because you find a lot of accommodation, and you find restaurants, breweries, all along the trail. This looked so good, and he has a smoker, it was a black man, it looked so good. So I went inside. It was not so good as I expected.
That happens. That does happen.
So yeah. So this is Tarpon Springs, and this is now our 5th day, and this is all Pinellas Trail. So we ride it until the end, and it's a very, very interesting park. Here is Wall Springs Park. So if you are somebody like me, who don't do all these 240 miles in one part, and you go with your car, park it somewhere, and then ride the bicycle, Wall Spring Park is perfect. There are more parkings, more trailheads, but Wall Springs Park is very large, so because it's busy. During the weekend, this trail is busy. But here you find parking, that's good. Then there is Palm Harbor, and then there is something we will talk about this a little bit later, this Honeymoon Island. But we talk about it later. So, and then Dunedin, but I can never pronounce correctly, Clearwater and St. Pete. People always tell me, I will never learn it.
You're done eating. You don't want to eat anymore.
So when you, for example, if you park in Wall Springs Park and you go on the trail, pay attention, because very soon on the right side of the trail there is a little path between the trees, and this goes to this place. This is a private sanctuary. They have opening hours, you can go inside and visit, but if you are not during opening hours there, you can see something. So I was there, it was closed, so it's just next to the trail, but since there are big trees, you can miss it. And then here, this is Rocky. Rocky, he is happy when a tourist or a bicyclist comes. He wants a company, although he cannot talk, but he can interact. Here, this is Rocky again. So it's really nice to stop there. This is the Wall Springs Park. This is inside the park. You can go inside with your bicycle. There are some trails. And this is a Pinellas Trail overpass. So this is a little while before Dunedin. So, and now, we say coast to coast. Some people some time ago said coast to coast means Titusville to St. Pete, but if you really want the coast, why not going to Honeymoon Island? This is, in my eyes, the perfect end. You have the coast, you have the Gulf of Mexico, and it's beautiful there. So you can do it. And from our Pinellas Trail, there is a bike lane to Honeymoon Island. So that's it. there is a bike lane next to the bridge. You can go over the bridge. And then there is Honeymoon Island State Park. I was there on a cool day. It was not very warm, but they have huge parking. So I can imagine during summer, this is full. But it's nice. It's very, very beautiful. I would recommend going. Okay, the Daytona Beach is more sandy. Some rocks, but people like it. So Honeymoon Island can be a nice end of the trail. This year is at the beginning of Dunedin, and this is Cafe Reza. I love it. I loved it already the first time I was there, and this time I was there 1 year ago, and I was checking out the trails to write my book. So my book was not finished last year, so this year I was there, and it was Sunday, and so I could not stop at the bike shops and asked if they would maybe sell my book. So I went here inside, a little bit shy. I said, here, I have this book, are you interested? Yeah, that's a good book, but the boss is not here. I cannot decide without him. And he looked at, and then he said, okay, give me 5. So it's a beginning. Yeah. So I didn't call him back if he sold them or not, but I will check. So this cafe, this is a combination of bike shop and coffee shop. It's a very, very nice place, and it's a little bit, I would say, a little bit European. They have very good croissants and latte macchiato and so. Also, for me, there are so many restaurants along this trail, but this is my favorite. And yeah, you see, they make already signs, congested area, and it's true, you cannot race, you cannot do your 20 miles per hour. It's a lot of people. But I like it. And I was only on weekends there, never during the week. And very often they have music in the restaurants or just along the trail. It's entertaining there. There are several intersections, road intersections, and I heard some people complaining about the car drivers, but I cannot complain. I found the drivers there very polite, and so when I was coming, I was so far from a trail, and he would already stop and let me pass. Also, I found them very careful. Repair stations are there. This is the old train station, and just if you be there a little before 12, you can be shocked because then they are ringing the bell and it's really loud. I have a video with the sound, but not here. So, and he was playing music. So that's all Dunedin. Dunedin is the center. There is a lot going on. Museum. Yeah, and this is a sign, but I, as a German, cannot understand. Why is this trail closed at sunset? It's in the middle of the village.
I think they probably intend to selectively enforce that. So if some, ruffians start hanging out there, they can say, look at the sign. But they wouldn't enforce it against someone like yourself or us.
As a German, I cannot understand it. Our trails are open 24 hours.
We're just a little baby country. We're very young. You can tell that.
I think it's more the lawyers. So, then we come to Clearwater. And Clearwater, you can also cross over a bridge and go to Clearwater Beach. This would also be the Gulf of Mexico, coast to coast. but Honeymoon Island is better. Yeah. Clearwater Beach is very touristic, high-rise hotels and so. But to do a little trip, it's nice. I was there. I had to look. Yeah, and then I'm back on the trail. This is shortly after Clearwater. Then we come to Lago. My accommodation was in Lago, and it was just in front of the trail. And I found it in Airbnb. Also, that was really good. It was no luxury, but the price was good. The room was clean, it was okay. And then finally we are in St. Pete. The beginning is the art district. It's also very nice to see, to visit. I was a little bit in a hurry because I arrived in the afternoon in Lago in my accommodation and rain was coming. And I decided I want to do this today. And I went from Lago to St. Pete and back before the rain. So I was in a hurry and I came back without getting wet and I did. So I really want to go back to St. Pete. I think it's worth to discover a little bit more of the city. They have good bike lanes. I was impressed, very good. And this is the official end of the coast to coast, Demensland. So I cannot say I did it because I didn't do it all in once. I had my car and okay, but I was there. Yeah, you can take a little trip here to the pier. Yeah, this was the coast to coast. I have two books. I have one book about all the bike trails here in eastern central Florida, what is my book, what I have several years, but updated every year. And I have the second book, what is about the trails in the west, like the Pinellas Trail and more. And also the coast-to-coast navigation is described in detail in this book. Then, this is the end of the presentation, but I wanted to give you a little preview what I will do next. Also this spring we will not have another presentation because I'm going home early May, and in April she has no spot for me, but in fall when I'm back I will make a presentation about new trails on the western side of Florida. I was there, discovered some, and I will only show you two of this, it's a preview only short. This is the Legacy Trail.